In 2017, I missed the last total solar eclipse because I was remotely observing with a telescope in Arizona while the rest of the friends in the department piled into cars. To make matters worse, we ended up getting clouded out for the rest of the night, and while I saw a solar eclipse, it was only a partial one. This year, I intend to make up for that. And if you're seeing this video, that means I succeeded. Or at least I hope I did. I'm not nearly as close to the path of the totality this year, but luckily I have family in Cleveland, which is practically right in the center, and so I'm meeting up with family there. To get there, I'm also taking my first cross country train journey. Well, first cross country US train journey. As I'm standing here recording this, I've not done that yet, but I'm really looking forward to it, quite excited to go and experience a long, wonderful train journey with hopefully some great views out the window and leg room that's much better than a plane and maybe Wi-Fi the whole way. I don't know. I'm excited.
Alright, so there wasn't Wi-Fi on the train, but I got pretty decent signal almost all the way, so I was able to keep doing a little bit of work for the first part. I did so much D&D planning. It was also nice to just still be able to text people while I was on the train. And yeah, like I expected, the legroom was exquisite. Could fully stretch out my legs, and it had to actually stretch to reach the seat in front of me. The seats themselves were comfortable, plenty of room for my wide shoulders. All in all, really enjoyable. Like I'm showing you here, it was fun to see, different parts of the country, little towns that we passed through, just nice woods. There were a few tunnels which were fun to go through. And, yes, after a while it felt a little bit hard staying up till 3 in the morning to get off the train, but hey, I can do that. That's not that hard at a certain point. And, obviously it was even better that 15 minutes after I got off the train, I was in bed, which you absolutely cannot do from a plane. It takes 15 minutes just to get out of the airport. Yeah, it was lovely. I cannot wait to travel by train again sometime. Maybe all the way back home to Chicago and sleep on the train. Then again, it's me. Who knows? Probably won't sleep. So the eclipse was amazing. I don't know if I could say it's everything I expected it to be, but it was definitely everything I hoped it would be. It was, first of all, very cool just going somewhere where everybody else was here just to see an astronomical event. That's always very fun. There were people all over this little area that we had found a small park that kind of jutted out into Lake Erie. We were right near the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Cleveland Science Museum, which was where NASA was having one of their official events, but we decided that we were going to head a little bit more away from the main crowd, which I think was the right way to do it. So we got there, we laid down some blankets, and for the most part, we, spent an enjoyable afternoon and hanging out with family, talking a little bit, snacking on so many mandarin oranges, and, occasionally popping on those eclipse glasses and looking up. It was interesting. I was able to kind of tune into the live NASA feed a little bit just on my phone to kind of see what the eclipse was looking like in some other places, which was interesting. And I think probably helped because then I could see, oh, okay, about 5 o'clock, there's kind of a really bright and interesting looking prominence. So when totality did come, I kind of looked there and go, oh, I see it. It was very fun hearing when the first contact started and there was kind of a noise scattered throughout the crowd of some people that were clearly paying attention. And it was definitely hard to notice at first, but once it got a lot more towards 80, 90% coverage, you could absolutely notice a weird lighting to the area. It was dusk without quite being dusk. Dusk, it looks dimmer. There's the color of things are a little bit less saturated, but usually at dusk there's a clear, right? The light is from over there, whereas here the still light is from everywhere and overhead. So you're not quite getting the same directionality of dusk. And of course, the sky was still blue. Oh, which the weather, forecasts in Cleveland are iffy, but for the most part, I mean, we woke up, beautiful blue skies overhead, and, by the time it got to around eclipse time, there was some light, hazy, high level clouds, but nothing that was getting in the way. Look, I'm an astronomer. I've seen those clouds and gone, oh, I can observe galaxies through that. Is that going to stop me from seeing the sun? Absolutely not. So the dusk lighting was very cool. And then, of course, we started to notice the temperature dropping, which I don't remember happening in 2017. But this time we were just kind of sitting out on the grass and it had been nice and warm, especially after walking there. And so it's just in a t-shirt. But t-shirt on like that level of, I almost want to put a jacket on, but not really yet. And so when the temperature really started to drop, you felt it, especially when we hit totality. Now, unfortunately, I was struggling to get the focus right on my longer telephoto lens until like an after actual totality. But I was able to get a couple pictures on my 50, and so I'll just let you enjoy those pictures while you hear the beautiful sound that the crowd was making when the eclipse finally happened.
Well, hey, I finally got to see a total eclipse. It was great. I'm sure I will do a better voiced over video later, but it was gorgeous. It was so cool to see it. Couldn't super see any Bailey's beads, but could see at least one of the bigger prominences. It was very cool. Could see some of the general corona on the outside, but we do have wispy clouds here, as you can kind of see. So not perfect, but gosh darn, it was so beautiful, and it's still partly eclipsed at the moment. It looks great. So it was so fun. I don't know. I loved it. I can't wait to maybe find myself able to see some upcoming future ones.
It was definitely one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I've gotten not used to, but accustomed to, looking up the night sky and seeing very cool things. I looked through a bunch of telescopes to see, Andromeda Galaxy, Orion Nebula. I've been to Chile where I've seen just the Milky Way across the night sky, and that's probably the closest thing I could compare this to, is being able to look up and see something that is of cosmic scale, but being able to see it with your own eyes. Obviously, I've seen the sun before. Obviously, I've seen the moon before. But there is something really special about seeing them come together and seeing that movement of these celestial bodies, moving and having an impact on us on Earth. And it's just very cool to see it line up so perfectly and really be able to just look up at the sun, see that the moon is in the way, and I don't have good words for the exact what it felt like, because it wasn't. A lot of people have said it makes them feel small. I don't know. I'm an astronomer. There's other stuff that can make me feel small. It wasn't that, but it did feel like both a special occasion and a specialness to knowing that people have seen this for millennia and millennia. And I don't need to be a historian to know that throughout time, people have seen total eclipses and just looked up and been amazed the exact same way that I was. All of which is to say, I caught the eclipse bug. Wasn't a big surprise, but I want to see more and more and more and more. I don't know if I'll make it to Iceland in 2 years, but hey, New Zealand is in 2028, and I have wanted to go to New Zealand for ages. So I hope you enjoyed this little video about my eclipse trip. I'm curious, did you get to see the eclipse, partial, total? If you did, I would love to hear about it down in the comments below. And until next time, whenever that may be, Alonzi.